G'day, you bloody legends! G'day, you bloody legends! Hey! FBI, open up!
Hey, can I fight? Good. Get out of here.
Give me an example of a problem you have faced on the job or with some kind of work you have done in the past and how you solved it.
So at my previous job, I would have to go get stocks. So like if the cups were empty, I'd have to go get cups or napkins or whatever they needed me to do. And there was a certain time frame. They give you a certain time frame, which was like, let's say just 15 minutes. The first few times I went and got stocks, it took me over 30 minutes. I didn't know anywhere. I didn't know where anything was. And so then I had to overcome that. I had to hurry up, memorize where things were, and eventually after like 5 times of getting the stocks, I ended up getting it in under 10 minutes, which I was really happy about, because it's hard for a lot of people who have been working there for like 10 years to get it in 15 minutes. And I'm just proud of myself. I got the stocks in under 10 minutes, which really made me feel good, and the manager's happy.
What do you do when people disagree with your ideas?
People disagree with my ideas and how I want to do a certain task. I try and talk to them and maybe compromise. If they're not giving in, then, well, I'm just going to have to do it their way. If it's harder, I'll do it their way. Like, if they're not going to help me do my job quicker or easier, whatever, I'll just have to live with the task being harder than I think it should be. But I'll still get the job done. I won't complain. And so the job will still get done, just not exactly the way I want it to be. So yeah, when people disagree with me, I just try and maybe not persuade them, that's the wrong words, but try and get them to maybe let me do it my way, so it's easier. I think it's easier.
Describe a time when you are not satisfied with the work you've done, either on the job or in school, and what you did about it.
There was a time at McDonald's, my previous job, where the stocks, like I already said, the stocks were a big thing. These were supposed to be under 15 minutes, and the first few times I was over 30. And so that's when I wasn't satisfied with the work I've done. And so I maybe had 4 times or so where it was over 35 minutes. Which really sucked, because the managers would get mad and say, "Taylor, what were you doing in there?" And they would accuse me of being on my phone, or like not even going to get the stocks. They'd blame me for going to A&W, which was right across the road, to go get food during my shift, which I didn't do, but they accused me of that. But to like better myself, I went in one day, took pictures of the stock room, and like where everything was, I took a picture of that, so I knew where it was. And so then I went home that night, and for the next few nights I studied that, like the photo of where everything was. And so then that way, the next day, or the next shift I had to get stocks. I did it in under like 10 minutes, which was an accomplishment for me. I was so happy, because for people who've been working there a long time, it's hard for them to get the stocks in 15 minutes. So for me to do it, I was only working there like 4 months at the time. I was so happy that I got it in under 10 minutes. I felt so accomplished, and the managers were really proud of me.
Explain a time when you went above and beyond the call of duty to get a job done.
A time for me, I went above and beyond what I was supposed to do. above and beyond the call of duty for what I was supposed to do would probably be the same situation at McDonald's. They asked me to get stocks, and this is when I was really good at it, and I was consistently getting under 10 minutes, getting the stocks in under 10 minutes, which I was proud about. And so there was I believe it was two new employees who've never done stocks, and the managers were like, well, Taylor's pretty good at stocks, so we'll let him take them. And so they didn't say that. I offered, because they didn't have anywhere for them to go. I was like, do you want me to teach them how to do stocks? And the managers agreed to that. And so then I had to take them in and do stocks. And it took me like 20 minutes because I was showing them where everything was, and they were also helping me like take things back to the store. So it took me 20 minutes, well, like us 20 minutes to get the stocks, and the managers were happy about that because it was over 15 minutes, but the managers were okay with that because I was teaching the employees where to go get the stocks. So yeah, it made the managers happy that now there's more employees that know where the stocks are, and also told the employees I was teaching about where everything is in the stock room. I told them, if you have your phone, I suggest you pull it out and take pictures. If the manager gets mad at you, I'll say it's me. It was my fault. I told them to do it. But it helps them memorize and do their job quicker, like I did, and study it. So they studied it, and they were getting constantly under 15 minutes after that. And so I felt really accomplished, and I feel like I went above and beyond the call of duty to help these new employees get better in their job.
Tell me about a situation when it was important for you to pay attention to details, and how did you handle it?
A time when it was really important for me to pay attention to details is probably when I went for my driving, or my license, because a few little mess ups and you have to wait to get your license. You have to re-sign, you have to rebook, which is like 3 months. And I didn't want to do that, so I really had to concentrate on the details of driving. Like always turning with my signal light on, always stopping at red lights. Like if they switched, I would have to either hit the brake or proceed with caution. Like, it's just always stay in my lane. I always had to pay attention to those details. Some of them might not seem major, like turning with your signal light on. No, most people don't do that. Like, from what I've seen, most people don't use them. So I always just made sure to use them, check my mirrors, shoulder check, and I passed first try, which I was very proud about, because most people honestly fail the first time.
Tell me about your qualities and talents that would help you in this work placement.
Some of my talents and qualities that would help me in this job is I'm very smart. Like, I can figure a lot of things out. So, like, if you needed something done on a car and it wasn't working, I could probably figure out a way to rewire it or something, like move pieces around so it would end up working. And yeah, and like talents is I'm really good at memorizing things. Like, you can tell me something and I might remember it, I might not. But if it's something important, I will remember it. So if you go tell me, hey Taylor, put this piece on this car and this piece on this car, like switch the parts or something, I'll remember that because it's important. And the customer is demanding that is what is done. You switch the parts.
What do you want to accomplish or learn in this work placement?
Placement? I want to learn how to work more with vehicles or tow truck. Like, I want to do something with vehicles or airplanes, and I really just want to learn which way I want to go down the road in my future, whichever one I like most. And so with this course, it's gonna pave me a path on which road I want to go on. This one might be gravel and this one might be paved. Which one do I want to take? I don't want to take the gravel one because it's too bumpy and I don't enjoy it as much. The gravel, it's smooth. I just want to take that and I enjoy it more.
What are some areas you see yourself wanting to improve?
Areas I want to improve myself in is getting fit. But for the workplace, I would like to be able to do things faster. Not taking as long to do things. I want to get them done. Quick. So I'm really wanting to improve in those areas. Getting things done and getting fitness and getting bigger muscles so I can haul bigger parts and help carry things. Because in the automotive industry, that's a big thing, is having muscles to carry things because they're heavy.
What have been your most rewarding experiences in school?
Some of the rewarding experiences in school for me would probably be when I played badminton. I ended up getting first place in the tournament I was in. That made me feel really accomplished. But school-wise, it would probably be last year in gym. The teacher gave me the highest mark. I passed with a 99% in that class. And I had the highest percentage out of all the kids in that class. And so that made me feel really happy because that's something I've never done before. And so getting that 99% and being better than the whole class, that made me so happy.
Tell me about a time you worked on a project as a team member and what you contributed to it.
So for a group project, I was in grade 9 and the assignment was to film a video with 3 people. So it was myself, a girl in my class, and my best friend. And so they didn't really know what to do, so I kind of had to make sure they stayed on topic. I ended up writing the script, I ended up filming it, I ended up editing. I acted in it as well. So I kind of had to take control of the situation. So I made sure we filmed, then I edited it, then I sent it to them for their final words. They helped me make some changes, or they told me what I should change. I changed it, I sent it back, the video back to them, and they said, yeah, that's good. So then I put it on YouTube, did everything I needed to do for that, and that was my project with a group of people and how I kind of took control there.
Tell me about a goal you had set and how you went about reaching it.
A goal I set for myself and how I accomplished it is probably when I went to apply for McDonald's. I wanted a job. I wanted to have that money. I didn't want to always ask my mom for money or ask her for this and that. I didn't want her buying me things. I wanted to buy things for myself. I wanted to be do things for myself. And so I went in, did my application, put everything down that I've done, so my references and all that. And I went into the interview because the interview was right then when I handed my application in. I handled myself well and talked to the manager respectfully, shook her hand. It went really well. And so that way I got the job, and I was very proud because I set myself that goal.
If you have a difficult decision to make, how do you go about making it?
If I have a difficult decision to make, I always go about it by, what's the best way to handle this? So I try and handle it the best way possible. So if it's going to get stocks, it was hard for me to do at first, but I memorized it, and it was difficult, and so I always just went, got it. I studied it, I got it on time. So that was difficult for me, and I do that. But if there's a decision to make and something's going wrong and it's really difficult to make, I try and do it the best way possible. So however the best way to accomplish it is, that's how I'm going to do it.
What are your hobbies and outside interests?
Hobbies and outside interests are coming home from school and playing with my dog. Playing tug or taking her for a walk. I honestly love spending time with my dog. My hobbies are building things with wood. Recently, I found building things with wood so much fun. Like I built a shelf in my backyard out of wood and screws. There was no point in doing it. I just wanted to do that. I wanted to build something with wood. So I took wood we had in the backyard, screws we had in the garage, and just cut it, put it all together, and made a nice shelf for the backyard.
What do you see yourself doing in the next 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. I would love to be doing YouTube full time. Get out of school, get my grade 12, so at least I have that. And hopefully by that time, I'll have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So I really hope to get big on YouTube because making videos is my passion. I like doing that right now. And it would just be nice to make a living off of YouTube. But I will always do that on the side. YouTube as a side job. So in 5 years, I would really like to be doing YouTube full time, being big, having millions of subscribers. It would make me really happy. And so that's what I'm hoping to be doing in 5 years.
Do you have any questions for me?
What skills and experiences make an ideal candidate for you in this business? What do you enjoy most about working here? Do you have any hesitations about my qualifications? Can you tell me about new plans for growth in your company? And my last question is, what are the problems facing your staff in the business right now? Thank you.
Well, I thank you for coming in and applying for the job. I'll take the next couple of days and talk to the other panel members about it.
Thank you for taking this time to interview me. I'm really excited to work for your company, hopefully you accept me to be one of your amazing coworkers. The people around here seem very well carried and improved, and yeah, thank you. Just get back to me on your final decision, please, and very nice meeting you. Thank you for the interview and taking time.
Nice to meet you as well. Well, that was a great interview. Let me lead you out.
Thank you. Very nice meeting you. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching my video. Feel free to subscribe, comment, leave a like, do everything you gotta do. Follow me on Instagram. And thanks to my mom and my dog for helping me film this. Thank you. See you guys in the next video.
Laser God, Laser Beard, Laser Face, mate, drop the bass.